I'm here at the office of the Mayor of the City of Johannesburg to discuss concerns raised in the Auditor General's report dated December 2016. When I recently attended the first council meeting, the Mayor highlighted to me in an interview how important it was for every citizen to take an interest in what the Auditor General has to say about the state of affairs of the City of Johannesburg. So let's go chat to him and give proper oversight, as every citizen should.
Municipality run on the basis of a budget process. So you cannot just ready decide you want to go and build a bridge or you want to go and buy buses without following the right budgetary process. So that's what we are. Some of them we might find it's not corruption, but it's irregular. But at the end of the day, it's not an excuse, because you are expected as an accountable government to ensure that you put in measures in place so that there are sufficient controls to ensure that people don't easily can abuse state resources. Because the reason why we have such high incidences of corruption and looting in the city of Johannesburg is because of lack of controls. And I believe, and my own sense is that this was a deliberate measure by the officials to ensure that they can loot. Because when you have a dysfunctional system, it's easy for people to steal. And that's the reason why we're finding ourselves with these high levels of corruption in the city. So it is our responsibility, working with MMC. Dagada actually had a meeting with him 2 days ago with the city manager and other agencies of the city, tightening up on these measures to ensure that we have a system that works, that people cannot easily manipulate.
For greater clarity on specific issues raised in the Auditor General's report, I chatted to the current MMC for Finance, Dr. Dagada.
We actually have several concerns regarding that report. Actually, we are regressing as the city in terms of the quality of the reports. Whereas 2014-2015 financial year, 6 of our entities got clean audits. But this time around only 4. But even amongst those 4 that got clean audits, there's some regression. At the same time, the co-administration, the main city, the audit findings are very bad. Actually, I think we're very, very lucky that we didn't get a qualified report. But one is also worried about whether the administration, the staff, the city manager and the senior managers, whether they are serious about the findings, because there are lots of repeat findings, and that is a matter of concern. Some of them 3 years repeating same findings. So one is doubting the commitment of our managers towards achieving a better audit results.
Let's talk about the contentious issues of procurement and contract management. There's several points to take into account with regards to this. The Auditor General picked up what he calls deviations that were approved by the accounting officer.
There are 2 things that I've already started working on. Firstly, I've invited the Group Chief Finance Officer together with people who reports to him, because lots of these queries, audit findings, especially the ones that are repeating, they are around procurement. I mean, somebody must tell me why they gave somebody some work to do without test clearance certificate. You don't have to have a PhD in business science to know that that is wrong. I mean, up front, it says to me in face value, maybe somebody had vested interest. So some of these things we're going to investigate. But secondly, I've talked to the Office of the Chief City Manager that in their regular meetings, the executive management team, the audit issues should feature there permanently as a standing item. And thirdly, the Emerald Committee, we're going to deal with this.
The Auditor General also points out that there is a long list of inappropriate conduct by the financial officer, as well as something like 133 cases of alleged irregularities relating to financial misconduct, fraudulent acts, theft and non-compliance that were investigated, out of which he says only 24 have been completed. Please elaborate more on these cases that the Auditor General is referring to.
Yeah, actually, we've got several investigations, maybe just over 70 cases happening since we took over. So we're going to look at this, but also from the Auditor General report also, we're going to pursue some investigations. But to me, there was also a lot of negligence. I mean, you would have noted the other day when we were in the council, I had to withdraw 2 reports because they had mistakes, huge mistakes. But when you check, it's all about negligence.
Does it come down to competence in terms of the people that are actually employed to do their jobs?
I mean, you look at group finance, I've got several directors, whose the highest qualification is matric. But maybe that doesn't matter. A person could have accumulated experience and be able to do the job. But in this instance, this person's previous job before they became a director, they were reading meters. Now, all of a sudden, they're a director of credit management. That's a highly sophisticated and complex job. So there was a lot of cadre deployment, which is very damaging, and that's why we now have this.